This episode of Diary of a Madman was brought to you by my writing podcast called Horrible Writing. None of us have time to suck, so each and every episode I take a few minutes to give you some advice, talk to other writers, bring in panels, and all kinds of good stuff to highlight empowerment through candor and what we can all do if we all just believe in ourselves. Check it out wherever you get your podcasts from.
Ah, you fickle little insects. How blind you really are. Blind to reality, blind to your true selves, and bound to your own self-important predictability. Take the barista this morning. I could end her in a heartbeat, sweet little thing. I should feast on her for a week. Blind to the reality, she was smiling at a monster, a real monster, happy in her blissful little bubble as she sprinkled chocolate on my latte. She, just like all of you, loved to dance with monsters of fancy and fantasy. I see it in your eyes, that distant, dreamy look. I didn't need the obvious tells, the dark purple lip gloss, or the black satin choker around her pale white neck. I didn't even need that cute little ankh tattoo on the inside of her left wrist. It was in her eyes, as plain as the nose on her face. When you see a real monster, you turn a blind eye, pretend you don't see. You do nothing. The racist cop killing an unarmed mother and child. The boyfriend that humiliates you in public, beats you, rapes you, yet you do nothing. You tell yourself he behaves like that because he loves you, or because he's going through a rough patch. Come the morning, he's all flowers and forgiveness, so it's all okay again, all forgiven, until the next time, and the next time. The priest that plays with your children, the monster that kills prostitutes, the millions being killed in the Middle East. Nuh-uh, didn't see a thing. But heaven forbid I use the word cunt. A single-syllable word far more important than 1,000 children drowning in the Mediterranean, fleeing their fathers' guns and bombs. Sure, you're also concerned when it's there on TV, or it comes up in polite conversation. Your heart bleeds for these countless souls and their unimaginable suffering. But when it comes to quiet reflection, you couldn't give a flying fuck, as long as it doesn't affect you, as long as it's not in your backyard. As long as you can make your next car payment, or be sure the DVR has enough space to record that favourite programme you just have to watch. Those are the things that really matter, aren't they? I'd wager that behind the wheel of her car, the barista would happily bite out the throat of an elderly woman that cut her up on the commute home. I guess she'd writhe in pleasure as she smeared the blood from her mouth down her neck, over her breasts and down into her aching wet cunt, without batting those mascara-clumped eyelashes. Take the lovesick puppy Dracula and Frankenstein's monster. Add a lycanthrope terrorising a village in the Bavarian forest. Top it off with a horde of zombies chasing you down to eat the flesh from your bones. Multiply that by 100, no, 1,000, and it still won't come close to the beast that lies within you. The real you, that being that you deny exists whenever you're in public. The real you that you try to suppress so that you can hide in the real world. But it's there, always, just behind your eyes, watching, waiting. And when you sleep, he dances, naked in the moonlight. And that's what really scares you. You can't control it. You can't control you. You are me, and I am you. Unshackled. Free. And you should be scared. Terrified. I know not all of you could become me, would become me. I'd wager most of you would run and hide when it came to the crunch. For those that are left, it would have to be very personal. I mean, that's always where it starts, and usually ends. It's always a relative that's done something wrong, or a lover that's rejected your advances for the last time. It's very rare that it's a complete stranger, unless, of course, you're sensible enough to project that hatred onto somebody else, a stranger. That's where the big guys get their infamy. They can disconnect, project. Problem is, they start getting sloppy after time, start believing in their own hype, or they like to collect trophies, leave clues as to who they are. They think they're invincible. fact of the matter is, the cops ain't fucking stupid. They're trained to see patterns, taught to see the unseeable, plus everything they see gets logged, written down. It doesn't take all that long before they work out your pattern, your signature, your MO. Then they close in on you, ensnare you. If you can keep it clean, change the play each time, change enough to distort their perception, then they will struggle to make the connections. They may never make them, in fact. The barista smiled as she came to collect my empty cup, asking me if I'd like anything else, instead of running for her life. Anything else? You wouldn't believe me if I told you, honey. She could quite easily be me. A gentle nudge in the right direction. All it takes is that first step. The first step on every journey is the hardest. But once you start, the momentum begins to build. You may stumble at the beginning, but soon you'll be running that marathon, climbing that mountain, and then you'll reach the summit. Given the right circumstances, maybe she'll become like me. A protege, soulmates, soul stealers.
This episode of Diary of a Madman was written by Dohai. You can find him over on Twitter at Dohai666. That's Dohai 666. The Madman is, of course, the one and only Kareem Cronfley, who you can find on Twitter at BullshotUK. We only have 4.5 more episodes of the Madman story to go. I hope you're enjoying the ride. Stay twisted.